The Indus River is a lifeline. It flows from the Himalayas through India and Pakistan. For centuries, its waters have nourished people and their crops. The river holds immense cultural and economic significance for both nations. It is a source of life, livelihood, and identity for millions. In India, the river is revered for its spiritual importance. It sustains agriculture in the northern states. In Pakistan, it is called the Father of Rivers. It is the primary source of water for the country's agricultural heartland. The Indus River basin is shared. This shared resource has been a point of both cooperation and conflict between India and Pakistan. The story of the Indus is a story of two nations, forever intertwined by a shared resource. Following their independence in 1947, India and Pakistan inherited a complex water-sharing situation. The Indus Basin, once a unified entity, was now divided. This division led to tensions and disputes over water rights. To address these challenges, the Indus Waters Treaty was signed in 1960. This landmark agreement, brokered by the World Bank, aimed to ensure equitable water distribution. It remains one of the most successful examples of transboundary water management. The treaty allocated the eastern rivers, the Ravi, Beas and Sutlej, to India. The western rivers, the Indus, Jhelum and Chenab, were allocated to Pakistan. This division granted India greater control over the headwaters of the rivers. However, it recognized Pakistan's historical dependence on the western rivers. The Indus Waters Treaty is a complex document. It outlines not just the division of water, but also mechanisms for cooperation. It established the Permanent Indus Commission, comprising representatives from both countries. This commission meets regularly to discuss issues related to the treaty's implementation. The treaty permits India limited use of the western rivers for non-consumptive purposes. These include hydropower generation, subject to certain conditions. It also allows for the construction of storage dams on the western rivers, again with specific regulations. A dispute resolution mechanism is built into the treaty. This mechanism provides a structured approach to resolving disagreements. It outlines a process of negotiation followed by neutral expert evaluation and finally international arbitration. Despite the treaty's success in preventing major water conflicts, disagreements have arisen. These disagreements often center around the construction of hydroelectric projects. India's development needs and its desire to harness the hydropower potential of the western rivers have led to concerns in Pakistan. Pakistan has raised objections to several Indian dam projects. These objections stem from concerns about reduced water flow and potential ecological damage. The Baglihar Dam on the Chenab River and the Kishan Ganga hydroelectric project on the Jhelum River are prime examples. These disputes highlight the delicate balance the treaty strives to maintain. They underscore the need for continued dialogue and cooperation between the two nations. Section 5. The Kishan Ganga and Ratla disputes, navigating murky waters. The Kishan Ganga and Ratla projects have been particularly contentious. Pakistan argues that these projects violate the treaty's provisions on design and water flow. India maintains that the projects are within the treaty's parameters and are crucial for its energy needs. The Kishan Ganga dispute led to international arbitration. In 2013, the Court of Arbitration partially upheld Pakistan's claims. It directed India to modify the project's design to address concerns about downstream water flow. The Ratla project remains unresolved. Pakistan requested a neutral expert in 2016. India countered by seeking a court of arbitration. The World Bank's intervention was stalled for years, finally leading to parallel proceedings. Section 6. A wrench in the gears India's call for renegotiation. In recent years, India has grown increasingly dissatisfied with certain aspects of the treaty. It argues that the treaty hampers its development aspirations. The rapid growth in India's population and its rising water demand have fueled these concerns. In September 2024, India served notice to Pakistan of its intent to modify the Indus Waters Treaty. This unprecedented move signaled India's desire to revisit the treaty's provisions. India's primary stated reasons are the need for greater flexibility in constructing hydroelectric projects and concerns about what it sees as the treaty's bias in water allocation. Pakistan views India's move with apprehension. It maintains that the treaty is a binding international agreement. It fears that any attempt to renegotiate the treaty could have dire consequences. Section 7. Escalation and uncertainty. The treaty suspension of 2025. On April 24, 2025, India took the drastic step of suspending the Indus Waters Treaty. This decision was a direct response to a terror attack in Pahalgam. India linked the attack to Pakistani militant groups, citing it as a violation of the treaty's spirit. The suspension sent shockwaves through the region and the international community. It marked a significant escalation in tensions between the two countries. It also cast a shadow over the future of water cooperation in the Indus Basin. While the immediate impact on Pakistan's water supply was minimal, the long-term implications remain uncertain. The suspension raises serious concerns about the potential for future conflict over water. Section 8 of Future, Adrift Environmental and Human Costs. The ongoing disputes and the recent suspension of the treaty have raised alarms about the environmental and human costs of water conflicts. The Indus River basin is already facing challenges from climate change, pollution and over-extraction. Reduced water flow due to upstream diversions or disruptions could have devastating effects on agriculture, livelihoods and ecosystems in both countries. It could also exacerbate existing social and economic inequalities, particularly in the poorest and most vulnerable communities. The situation underscores the urgent need for a return to dialogue and cooperation. Section 9. Towards a shared destiny, the imperative of cooperation. The Indus River, once a symbol of unity, faces an uncertain future. The suspension of the treaty is a stark reminder of the fragility of transboundary water agreements. It highlights the need for trust, cooperation, and a shared vision for the future. Both India and Pakistan must prioritize dialogue and diplomacy to resolve their differences. They need to move beyond the current impasse and work towards a mutually acceptable solution. The international community has a vital role to play in facilitating this process. It can provide technical expertise, financial assistance, and diplomatic support to help the two countries navigate these challenging waters. The Indus River is a shared resource, and its fate is intertwined with the destinies of India and Pakistan. Only through cooperation and a commitment to shared prosperity can these two nations ensure a water-secure future for their people.